Welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy. Do you take your vote seriously? Who are you voting for? Yeah, that's a loaded question. It doesn't matter one bit who you're voting for because the truth is, it's never a who, it's a what. What party are you voting for is the better or more accurate question. You already have it in your mind who you're voting for due to what party you're voting for. I'll explain this by using the current Bernie supporters and the rest of the candidate supporters. Okay, so the election began and Trump came out against Mexico and any of their citizens crossing the border to the U.S. Then he spoke about how rich he was. That just swooned the racists and the traditionalists. Just swooned the hell out of them. Then Hillary shows up saying nothing beyond that she will run and make us stronger together. How fortunate Hillary is to be the wife of the single most popular president for those who were just leaving high school and those who remembered Jimmy Carter. People made up their minds of who they were voting for as soon as they aligned themselves with a party. People learned fast about Hillary Clinton. Scandals galore arose and her dark past was tossed into the light. Yeah, she has a past that no one would allow into any business with integrity. Yeah, where are you going to find that? Hillary Clinton is the sole person to blame for the rise of Bernie Sanders, the single most hated man by his political peers. Hillary spoke on nothing while the Young Turks and other sources rummaged through her past, exploiting the racist rhetoric, the crime bills she supported, the war she advocated, and private speeches to bankers she refused to release. People with critical thinking could not help but take notice of this and take a listen to Bernie Sanders. Sanders rose as laissez-faire, and before that, 55 to 82 degree winter set in. Remember that winter. Critical thinkers had enough of her crap and ran to Bernie, who was not only saying the right things, but had led a full life of doing them. Sadly, the great majority of people wouldn't know Bernie at all. If you watch CNN's interview with Bernie, they refused to talk about his positions. They asked him nothing less than questions on Hillary and how he felt about her chances, her poll numbers, and if he supports her policies. All the while, during the interview, they showed only pictures and videos of Hillary. People watching CNN that have a loyalty to the Democrats could only gather that it was just more talk on Hillary, who they already wanted to vote for. This is when CNN was dubbed the Clinton News Network. Bernie crowds grew like weeds. The Bernie supporter was born. They loved him, and why not? He was factually about every single thing we spoke on. Does anyone recall Obama's promises during his campaign trail? How many did he keep? How would things be if he fought for those promises and pushed them into action? I'm sure you have your opinions on that, or maybe never thought of it until now. Just like any teenager or any adult, to be fair, the more people pushed against Bernie, the more the Bernie supporters spoke up against it and shouted even more how much Bernie was needed. Bernie gained such a following that Fox News and propaganda spreaders like them created the vile Bernie Bro. Bernie Bros were reported to be rapists, attackers, and racist. Bernie and progressive social media reporters were doing defense to explain how there were no Bernie Bros, and if there were any, they were not doing the accused actions. After a long, hard-fought battle, Bernie gave in. He had a private meeting with Obama, the very first action Obama made that put everything of him into question after his third month in office. Bernie dropped out, but said he'd take it to a convention if he had to. He dropped out of that too and put his full support behind Hillary. Bernie was gone. I, like many, was still supporting him. We have to because there's no one else like him, and he is needed. I heard of Jill Stein, just like a few hundred people have, but we are all so brainwashed in these parties and who to vote for and to never waste a vote that we did a great disservice to ourselves and ignored her. I broke my chains placed upon me by society and looked into Jill Stein. She's a mirror image of Bernie with roughly the same plans and a mindset of being fair. Bernie supporters were not going to listen to her. Bernie supporters and Hillary supporters were at each other's throats, but now, for those that leave Hillary, they go to Trump and Gary Johnson. Very few of them thought about Jill Stein. The Bernie supporters are still stuck on him. They call in to the Tom Hartman show often. People with political science degrees won't even use the education to leave the corporate supports of the DNC and RNC. Bernie supporters, just like every other voter out there, are enslaved to small thinking as they run to where they are assured of victory in this presidential contest. Research platforms and vote for who has the platform that addresses the country and not the money. Trump will sell his candidacy for money. He said so. Hillary was backed by the DNC, Golden Parachute distributor Obama, and major known companies like Time Warner, Verizon, as I call them, Verfailsen, Apple, and the list goes on. People think Trump is like Bernie because he won't take corporate money. He started out against them, saying that he was on his own, but now, when he pleads to them, the corporations don't answer. Trump and his son even begged Iran for money and were rejected twice. With all of this evidence and information calculated through both forms of media, you have to ask yourself something. How serious do you take your vote? If it is as serious as Hillary and Trump take it, then it's not serious at all. You do an equal disservice by not voting at all. Once Trump is president, it will only take 2 million for him to resign and have Pence in control. It will take at best 1/4 of that for companies to get Hillary to do what they want. The Koch brothers did say about Hillary, if her actions are different than her rhetoric, they'll support her. That was after she hijacked Bernie's policies to attract independent voters. Think about all that. Will you? I did, and I do. Thank you for listening.